Hello everyone, and in this video we will look at how to set up a geospatial development environment on Linux and MacOS. So let us see. We will install Anaconda or Miniconda, and then we will also create our own Python environment and then get in some geospatial libraries. We will install the Visual Studio Code IDE and also QGIS. So let us get started. In your browser, you can search for Miniconda, install, and then this first link here should do the trick. So installing Miniconda. But if you're wondering whether to use the Anaconda or Miniconda, I think they already have it here. They explained it. It says here that Conda, all of them have Conda, and then that is the package manager we use. They're all created by the same company, just that the distribution has a navigator, which is a graphical user interface that will help you to do clicks instead of just running commands at the terminal. And then this distribution also comes out of the box with a lot of packages that you may not need all at once. The Miniconda, of course, has less, and it takes less space to install. You see this one has a lot of space that it takes, and then it's can put a certain pressure on your hardware also. So we will go ahead and install the Miniconda, but if you have a very powerful machine, you can try and then install the Anaconda. All of them have Conda, and Conda is what you want to use. So for macOS, if you want to install it via the bash, with a script, you click on this one and it will install it for you. And then if you want the package too, you can click on this one and it will install it for you. But I think Homebrew should be able to also install Homebrew, install Miniconda. Okay, so Homebrew has it, and that should make life way easy. So you just have to copy this command here and paste it into your terminal, and then you will have Miniconda installed without any of these hassles of downloading and double clicking and dragging into the applications and all that. So just use this command if you're on Mac and then install. But even if you scroll down a bit here, you see there's a command here for you to install. So if you are on Linux or Mac, you should be used to the terminal. So just copy this. You can click on this one to copy it. You bring up your terminal. Mine was on the other side, so I will not run this because I'm not on a Mac, but you just paste it like I did, and then you run it, and then it will install it for you. Okay, but for the Linux users, you just come here, and it's this same command. You copy it, you paste it, and then it will run it for you. But I already have it installed, so I will not go through that process of installing it again, but you will have to paste the command and then just press enter, and if it asks you for your password, just trust it and type it, and then let's get to the next step of the installation. So the next step for both OSs is to, you see that it doesn't change, to run this command. And so let me come in, paste it, and then automatically it activated the base environment for me. So one of the things I can do is conda env list, which is I want to list all the environments I have. And you see I have base, which is activated by default. I know it's activated because it is in brackets here. I have one called Geospatial, which I did myself, and the one that we will create is called GeoPython. I have created it before. It is I was just trying to install some of these things and see. So let me remove that environment, then we create it again. So that will be conda env, and then I go remove, and then the name tag, and then what I want to remove is called geo_python, and then it's asking me that to remove everything, and then I'll say yes. So now if I do conda env and then list, that should give me the only the other two, and then we can now start everything from scratch. So now let's create our own environment by conda and then env create, and then we pass in the name flag, and then the name will be GeoPython. There was a hyphen here, so GeoPython, and that should create it for us. Okay. If it is the first time, it might be doing some installation, just allow it. And then here we can activate it by saying conda activate, and then GeoPython. Okay, so let me clear. And then in here, if we do conda list, I think there shouldn't be so much in here other than the default packages. So what we can do is to install our own package, and then there's this one package called GeoPandas that includes almost everything that we need. So conda install and then GeoPandas. Okay, so you see that GeoPandas is coming with all these packages that we need. We can go through and see there is Folium, there is Fiona, there is GeoPandas itself, there's GDAL, there is, I don't think this one has Rasterio, but there's NumPy Pandas, it doesn't have Rasterio. So we will still accept it now by pressing Y and then enter, and then we'll come back to our browser and see how we can install Rasterio. So here I will search for install Rasterio, and then we visit their web page, the installation web page. It's saying that we can use pip install Rasterio as the easy installation option, so we'll try that one. Let's see if there's an option for conda. Okay, there's no option for conda, so we'll stick to this pip install Rasterio, and then we have Rasterio also as part of our stuff. So our packages are done. So let me clear out of this. I always do the clear so that you have a clear, you see a clear terminal with a lot of things that are not supposed to confuse you. So it's pip install and then Rasterio. That should also install Rasterio for us. Whilst that one is installing, let's look at how we can install Visual Studio Code. If you are on Mac, we can say we can come to this homebrew website and search for code, maybe something like that. It says unable to fetch results. Maybe Visual Studio Code is there here, so you just select this one, and then this is the command to install Visual Studio Code on Mac. As a developer, you should be used to the terminal. Other than that, you can come to, if you don't like using this one, you just copy this, paste it in your terminal, press enter, and then it will install it for you without going through any hassle. So but if you want to still install it graphically, we can search for VS Code download, and then this very first link that comes in, we open it up, and then here, if you want to install it graphically, you can download it from here and then go through the normal Mac installation process. If you're on Linux, you also want to install it graphically, you can download the DEB file or the RPM and install it manually by double clicking, but I will recommend the CLI for both of these. And so for the Linux, we can say Linux, VS Code download, maybe something like that, and then there should be the terminal. Snap. Okay, so snap install VS Code. Snap install. It depends on whether you use Snap or not, but if you use Snap, then this option is quite straightforward for you. You can come to the Snap website like this and then click on install here, and this is the command you just write. Paste this command and then hit enter, and it will install VS Code for you. But if you don't have that option, you can still download any of these files, or even the command line also. Just you click on it and then it will, I think it should initiate some kind of download. You see that it's downloading something for me here. So you get the .tl.gz file, and then you can do the installation also. But if that one too is a bit difficult for you, then you can fall on your store. Your store will have VS Code. So you just open your store and then type VS Code. I think it doesn't really know VS like that. So Visual Studio, and then Visual Studio Code pops up. You can now install it from here, from your store also, if you don't want to go through all that hassle of extracting the GZ file and all that. So we also have VS Code installed. Let's see if our Rasterio is done. Okay, so we can leave that one. And the next one that we have to install is QGIS. For that one, I would not like you to go through any hassle. There is a link. When I was installing it, because I'm recommending the long-term release, I was finding it difficult to install it from the store. The store was not giving me the long-term release, but there's this website which I will link in the description, and so you can check it out. It's from Spatial Thoughts. They have a guide on how to install it on Windows, Mac, Ubuntu, like all of them. So you just have to scroll through here. So for instance, if I come to the Mac side, it tells me that I should download, go to their website here. So where was the QGIS install? Okay, so let me just say QGIS install here, QGIS. So if I open their website and then I skip and go to download, for now I come to MacOS. You see that the guide is telling me that I should download this LTR. Please download the LTR. You see here, download LTR, and then after you download it, you double click on the file to open it, open the package, and then drag it into your applications folder, the normal installation procedure for Mac. And then it should take some time to copy it, and then now when you go to the applications folder, you can see QGIS LTR, and then you can double click on it to open it. Okay, so we also on Ubuntu, you can follow by typing or copy pasting these commands. You see that it will eventually install QGIS long-term release for you. Okay, and then if you are also on I think, you can use the Conda to install it. Okay, that is also great. So yes, just go through this website, make sure you have it installed. I do have it installed, so if I bring it up from here, you will not see me now opening it because I'm doing so from my other screen, but I have it installed, the long-term release. Unfortunately, that's open there before I can bring it here. So this is my QGIS. Just make sure that you also have it installed and that we are on the same page. Okay, so I think that should be all for our no, we have not set up our VS Code yet, so let's go back and then open our Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is Visual Studio Code, and there should be a welcome screen that tells you to choose your theme and all that. You can do that, but the focus of today's tutorial or this session now is to get you to install some what we call extensions that will help us in our coding. So we can also be using Python. What I want you to install is search for Python in this extension marketplace. And this first one that comes from Microsoft, because I have it installed, it says uninstall, but make sure you install it. Install also this Python debugger, and then the tool should do, yes, the tool should do for the Python. And then there's also another extension for Jupyter. So just search for that one and also install it. And that reminds me, I almost forgot, inside GeoPython, we also have to install Jupyter. But we install the Jupyter lab, install the Jupyter. So just say conda install Jupyter lab. I nearly forgot. So let's allow that one to install. And let's wait and see if it will ask us any questions. Okay, so it says, and then now we will leave this one for you to install while we also set up our VS Code. So for the Mac also, just make sure that your environment is enabled, like it's activated. Other than that, you install it somewhere else. So you see my GeoPython environment is activated before I installed the Jupyter lab. Okay. It says what? Okay, so that's one to install this Jupyter extension, and then maybe these ones too, they will be installed whilst you install Jupyter, but that should be it for the extensions. And there's also another one called Code Runner. This one by Junhan, if I got the name right. Yes, so just have that one to install. And let me see if there are any other extensions that will be of help to you. So I have here Error Lens. You want to install that one too. It's optional, but what it does is to give us inline to highlight our errors for us as we write our code, so that we will know even before maybe we run it that there's an error. And then you can install this IntelliCode, which will just give you some assistance while you are coding. We have installed Jupyter. This material icons theme, you don't need it, but if you have it installed and you open files or folders, it will beautify your icons for you. It's just for the aesthetic part of things. You don't need it here. And there is also Prettier, which is a code formatter that formats your code for you, makes it nicer. That one too is just a matter for aesthetics. You don't actually need it. So that is it also for the setting up of VS Code. We will go through how to create files and then how to run stuff here. But for now, this is all that we need and have to do in Visual Studio Code. Okay, now our Jupyter lab is installed, so we can test it by saying that Jupyter and then space and lab. If everything works, okay, now it's working. So you should open up our browser, Firefox, and then show us a particular window. I was expecting it. Okay, now this is something I have to discard. So you can see that this is Jupyter lab. So we will get to explore it when we are doing the actual training. So that is all for our setting up today. So I'll hit Ctrl+C to break down from the server. So just make sure that you follow this video. Maybe you have to rewatch it. You have to do certain things over and over again. If you have an error, just put it on the page and it will help you, or put it in the comments and then you will have help from myself and my able team. So that is it for this side of the installation, and I'll see you when we start the sessions. Take care of yourself and have a great day. Bye bye.